Hello everyone, I'm Hao. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to create a window in OpenSim. To create a window, we have to first create a hole on the wall. And to create a hole on the wall, we have two ways. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do all these things. First of all, let's create some basic object. You can go to the build menu and select build, or if you want to use the hotkeys Control plus B, that's fine. Let's create some basic objects here. Okay, let's create one box and to scale it a little bit. Let's scale it and make it a little thin. All right. And then let's to make it a little long here. All right. To make a hole on the wall, the first way is to combine with four different basic 3D objects. So I'm going to create four things. I'm going to make a copy of this one, and I'm going to make a second copy and turn this one a little bit, 90 degrees, yes. And then I'm going to put it onto the side here. And the next thing is that I'm going to make another copy, yeah, which is my last copy here, and to put it here. Yeah. All right. I think there could be still a little bit right side. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Now we have a hole on this wall, and I'm going to select all of them and to turn them in the vertical direction for 90 degrees. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and move them a little bit up. All right. So we have a hole on the wall. This is the first way to make a hole. The second way to make a hole is also not very hard. Let's select any one object and make a copy. If you don't want to make a copy, you can also create a new box here, right? And then I'm going to move this wall a little bit, and then I'm going to change its height to make it look like a wall. All right, so here. And then we will go to the edit window and go to the object panel. In object panel, you will see there is a hollow. There is a hollow parameter, okay? So currently the default hollow value is 0, which means there's no hole on this wall. But if I change this value into 10, you will notice that there will be a small hole. Okay, there is already a small hole from the center of this object here, as you can see there, right? You can see it, right? All right. So, but if I'm going to change this value, I'm going to make it the value a little bigger. For example, let's make it to 50 and press enter on your keyboard. You will see this hole becomes much bigger, right? So now we have a hole, and you can also make it to 90, and you can make it to 100. But if you make it to 100, you will not see this object anymore, because which means everything, all of this object has been hollowed. Yeah, okay. There is a very, very thin. There is only a very, very thin, okay, frame. Okay, so this is not what we need. Okay, so we will go back to here and change it to 50. All right. And now next, let's go to this object and then make it a little bit down. All right. All right, let's go. Let's control my avatar and go to this hole and see if this is a appropriate window. Okay. All right, this is a window, but there's no glass yet. I'm going to teach you how to create a glass, but it seems that the window is a little bit lower. So what do we do to make the window a little bit higher? I mean, to make the bottom side a little bit higher. So to do that, we also have two ways. The first way is to make the value of hollow a little bit smaller. For example, we can make it into 40. But if you do that, everything, all the four sides of this hole will become smaller. Yeah, if you do that, yeah, it will become all these sides become smaller. What we want to do is to make the bottom side a little bit higher, but make sure the left, right, and upper side do not change. So if we want to do that, we're going to change the hollow value back to 50. But then we need to make another 3D objects from here. For example, we can make a copy of this object. Let's make a copy, press Shift and drag along with the arrow. All right, let's make a copy. For this copy, I do not need any hollow, so I'm going to change it back to 0. I don't need any hollow. And I'm going to make this part a little bit short. Okay, like maybe this one? Okay, sure. And now I'm going to move this thing back to the wall with a hollow, with a hole, and to make it down here. So in this way, we make the window a little bit higher. Not easy, not hard, right? Okay, it's quite straightforward. All right. So next things, I'm going to make the glass for of the window. Yeah, let's keep copy. Yeah, copy another object here, and let's change the length of this part. Make it like look like, yeah, as long as this one. Yeah, sure, that's good. And let's also change the height of this object. You will see this object has filled up into this hole, and we can also make it a little thinner, not as thick as the wall. Okay, make it a little bit thin. Okay. Right now, you can see that we have a window, a wood window on this hole, which has already been embedded into the hole. And in order to make this window, make it transparent, we will go back to the edit window and go to texture panel. Let's click texture. And here you see we have a transparency percent. If you change the transparency percent, you can change the transparency of this object. But before doing that, you have to do two things. The first thing is to change the texture. Let's change the texture to blank. Do not add any other texture onto the object that you want to make transparent, but only to make it blank. All right. If you click blank, you will see it's not a blank. It's a little bit gray. It's gray because here we have not yet checked the full bright on. If you check full bright on, you will see this object become completely white. All right. It's complete white. All right. Next, we are going to change the transparency value. The default value is 0, which means it is completely not transparent. And we're going to change it to like maybe 50%. Let's see what happened. 50%, okay, now we can see through things, but it seems that this window is not very clear. It's not very clear for people to look outside. So let's keep increasing the value. Let's make it to 80%. For 80%, it looks great, right? It looks great. And so we can see things through, but we can also notice or realize that there is something blocking us to getting outside of, yeah, from this wall. Yeah. So we can keep increasing the transparency value, for example, 90% or even 95%. If you want to make it 100%, that's fine. But be remember that if you change it to 100%, it means this object, I mean, the object that we are selecting is completely invisible. 100% transparency means completely invisible, which means you cannot see these things, but you can still use your mouse to select this thing. This will become weird because people may think there is no object in front of me, but they cannot pass through. They cannot get through because there is an invisible object blocking their way. So usually we will not change it to 100%. We will lower it to 95%, which which may not be a good idea. So we'll lower it to 90%. So under 90%, you will see that we have this object here. People can see through things. I think it's clear enough, but you can also realize that, as you can see, we still have some minor difference between the things that see through the window and see from the direct direction. All right. So we will keep it to 90%, or if you want, you can keep lowering it to 85%, right? Just to notice that, be sure to let your user, let your students realize that there is a window, there is something, although it's transparent, but make sure they realize there's a window. Yeah, that's fine. So this is the way to create a window in OpenSim. Yep, I hope you enjoy this video and enjoy using OpenSim. Thank you.